What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and that all of the excitement from Saturday's preseason opener for the Dallas Cowboys is still flowing through your heart. I am very, very sports happy, very sports excited. My Houston Astros doing well. I know that's a problem for some of you as Texas Rangers fans. I'm actually recording this on Monday, a little bit before Manchester United begins their Premier League season. And obviously, the Dallas Cowboys came back into our lives in an official capacity on Saturday with their preseason opener against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, we have some new subscribers that we've picked up since then, a lot of you who enjoyed the post game. So if you're new around here, awesome. Welcome aboard. We love you. Make sure to check out bloggingtheboys.com. Subscribe here to the Blogging the Boys YouTube channel. If you haven't, for whatever reason, subscribe to the Blogging the Boys podcast network. Our job is to talk about the Dallas Cowboys 24/7, 365, something that we love to do with you. So something I want to talk about today are some rookie performances, things that stood out. Obviously, it was the first preseason game, and a lot of starters don't play across the NFL. I know some teams handle things a little bit differently, including the team that the Cowboys played against, the Jacksonville Jaguars, playing their first teamers both on offense and defense for a cup of coffee. The Cowboys choosing to be a little bit more different, and that means that you have younger players, rookies, undrafted players playing a lot of snaps in these games. And while there are rookies and undrafted players who we have lots of high hopes for, it's always nice when you see some solid performances. So I have some names in mind we're going to go through. This isn't in any order, just an order that kind of felt right. And we're going to start with the lowest of low-hanging fruits. I mean, this is the easiest thing to possibly kind of say. Deuce Vaughn has really lit the world on fire. He has kind of become one of the more household names across the NFL. And this is a phenomenon that happens. If you recall, actually, everybody remembers Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott's rookie year. But if you remember the next year, 2017, Cooper Rush was an undrafted free agent for the Cowboys at the time and was amazing in the preseason. It was just absolutely incredible. And everybody, would joke about, oh, Dak's job is in jeopardy. That was the real Dak Cooper Rush dissension. But if you play for the Cowboys and you play well for the Cowboys, obviously your name can generate a lot of headlines. And everybody knows Deuce Vaughn's story. It was very powerful with the Cowboys drafting him and his father, Chris Vaughn. We don't have to talk about that for the millionth time. But Deuce Vaughn was amazing and electric and a lot of fun. And I think the most exciting thing about what he did on Saturday was he kind of provided this proof of concept. There are a lot of us who have believed in Deuce Vaughn and what he is potentially capable of as an offensive player for the Cowboys and an offensive weapon, and more specifically as an explosive offensive weapon and option for the team. And so to see it kind of live itself out was, justification, right? This is real. It's a real thing. It's actually possible. It's not just something that we're wanting and wishing and hoping for. And so Deuce Vaughn had the 26-yard run that was super fun, super electrifying. I think really has, I understand that if you were team Malik Davis or team Rico Dowdle or whatever the case may be, as far as who you believe is RB2 for the Cowboys or was RB2 for the Cowboys, but it seems like this is Deuce Vaughn's job. I wouldn't even say to lose. It's his job. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if we see less of him in the preseason, because at this point, he is well entrenched in terms of his role on this team. I don't care about pass protection. I don't care about that. How can he help you on offense? The answers are abundant. Deuce Vaughn was awesome on Saturday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 2, John Stevens Jr., a name that, I'll be honest, I was a little bit more skeptical on. I know I've said that word and that phrase a little bit. I've learned to come into these seasons with a little bit more, measured optimism, so I don't have my heart broken by the Cowboys. But I was a little bit, slower to come around here than a lot of people, and I should have been quicker. John Stevens Jr. was awesome. 5 catches, 56 yards, had the touchdown, obviously. We talk a lot about the tight end group, for the Cowboys. We talk about who's the starting tight end, Jake Ferguson. We talk about who are the reserves. Obviously, Peyton Hendershot is kind of his running mate. Luke Schoonmaker had the 1 catch for 8 yards on Saturday. Didn't make this list, unfortunately, and will hopefully have some more opportunities to kind of prove himself throughout the preseason. But, I mean, is it absurd to say that John Stevens Jr. is the most impressive, rookie tight end on this team right now? And I say that somewhat jokingly. He is a very nice option for this team at the very least. And I don't know that I think he can, crack the 53-man roster, right? I mean, that possibility is there. I was not willing to believe in that at first. I mean, I think at the very least he has secured a spot, presuming, he doesn't get poached by somebody else on this team's practice squad. I think he's a part of the fold. Sean McEwen's been around for a little while now, but I do think he is in contention for that fourth tight end spot, at least after one preseason game. He's going to have to continue to stack good days on top of good days, but it seems like he is well on his way for that. So congratulations to him. We now head to the first round selection, the first rookie to join this team, obviously, and that is Mazi Smith. And as you can see, I have lovingly placed "stop looking for stats from defensive tackles" on the little description here where we had the stat lines for Deuce Vaughn and John Stevens Jr. Mazi Smith is a run stuffing defensive tackle. If you are looking for stats here to corroborate your point or your belief or your idea or your thought, you're doing it wrong. All right. Mazi Smith, was he demonstrative? Was he incredible on Saturday? No, but I do think that he, kind of like we talked about with Deuce Vaughn, provided some proof of concept. I think provided some justification for what the Cowboys wanted. They want that run stuffing athlete in the middle of their defensive line. And we saw that. I'm not saying the Jaguars didn't have success on the ground. All of it came on the outside. When Mazi Smith was playing, that inside of things was clogged up and very difficult to have any kind of success against. And so it was a very positive step in the right direction. I'm probably the most excited I've been about the Mazi Smith thing. And I wasn't as down on it as a lot of people were, but I am starting to get really, really excited. I do think that Mazi's contributions aren't going to be visible in any sort of box score. They are going to be visible, if they are in a box score, by way of what Micah Parsons does, by way of what DeMarcus Lawrence does, by way of what Leighton Vander Esch and Damone Clark do. Mazi Smith is kind of the amplifier for all of their great talents and athleticism. And I do think that we saw kind of the foundational elements of that on Saturday afternoon. Speaking of Dallas Cowboys linebackers, Demarion Overshown, we do a live post-game show after every Dallas Cowboys game, which we do in the preseason as well. And we have candidates to win star of the game. Deuce Vaughn happened to come away with the honors on Saturday for obvious and recently discussed reasons, but Demarion Overshown was in the mix. And a lot of people, I think, jumped to he's the future Jaron Kearse linebacker safety hybrid. This dude can play linebacker. I mean, Demarion Overshown can absolutely play linebacker. He was everywhere, and that has been kind of the theme of training camp to this point for Demarion Overshown. Again, I know it's been a position that we've been kind of slow to come around on, slow to find something to really grab on and sink our teeth into. But Demarion Overshown, I think, really elevated his stock. I mean, again, I'm excited about Mazi Smith, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Demarion Overshown could be a significant contributor to this defense throughout his rookie season. And so that is a very, very exciting thing. Now we're insanely early. It is still, what's today, August 14th, right? Like there's no need to, put the cart before the horse. We're not trying to do that here, but it does seem pretty fair to say that the Cowboys found a very, very legitimate defensive option to add to all the ones that they already have in Demarion Overshown. As a fighting Texas Aggie, it's difficult for me to give props to anybody who went to that school in Austin, but Demarion Overshown has been a great breath of fresh air. In fact, I know this is about rookies, but I've been so pleased with what the Cowboys have done from a linebacking perspective. Damone Clark looks great in his second season. You add Overshown to the mix. The Cowboys just kind of keep churning them out. So good for them. Good for Dan Quinn. Now, this last one, not a lot of people are going to like this one. All right. That's fine. All right. I'm not like defensive about it, but let's just do it. Brandon Aubrey. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it and I don't get it. So I don't mean to do the I don't get it, I do get it sort of thing, but I don't get it and do get it. Who is the person you want to be the kicker for the Dallas Cowboys? Right now, your answer is going to be Robbie Gould, Mason Crosby, right? Once upon a time, it was Jake Moody. Jake Moody struggled in his debut with the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm not trying to do the he sucks now, whatever. But my point is it's hard, right? No kicker is going to go 4 for 4, 100% all season long. It was Brandon Aubrey's first ever game, right? And it was a preseason game, but it was his first ever NFL game. I know he kicked in the USFL, but it was his first ever game. And that he went 3 of 4. He made his only field goal attempt for what it's worth. I know he missed the extra point. That he was 3 of 4 on his kicks overall, I think is very promising. I am very, very much willing to continue to be patient and to continue to give him the benefit of the doubt. And so, yeah, I think if you're jumping down Brandon Aubrey start, let's just chill out a little bit. I would challenge you. Find me the non-Justin Tucker kicker around the NFL right now that you feel great about. Maybe Evan McPherson, who has struggled, sort of last year for the Bengals, right? Like, find me the one. Find me who you feel great about. And that isn't to be like, oh, well, everything sucks, everything's bad. I think Brandon Aubrey's fine. I just think that some people, we have these recent scars when it comes to the kicking position. And so we're kind of fresh to it. And so we're willing to kind of, throw our arms up in the air and scream and panic at the first sign of trouble. So let's just take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. So my name is RJ Ochoa. Those were my thoughts on some solid rookie performances from the team's preseason opener on Saturday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We will have so much more for you as the week continues to unfold. I mentioned it is Monday. Tomorrow on Tuesday, we have a new episode of the Blog on the Boys Roundtable. We will stream that live here on the YouTube channel. We will turn around and podcast it as well. If you are going to be on the go, that will start at 8 p.m. Central Time. Also available on our Twitch channel for what it's worth. Wednesday, we have a new episode of the NFC East Mixtape with myself and Brandon Lee Gowton. And then the week continues to roll on. And obviously, we've got another preseason game and therefore another episode of the post game on Saturday night. Also, this week, Madden comes out. I know that a lot of you loved our Madden simulations and have loved them for the last few years. We're going to be doing those again. So football season is here, which is a very, very exciting thing. So let's go ahead and get out of here. Glory, glory, Man United. I wish you all a very wonderful day. I will see you next time.